Okay, what's up guys? My name is Shafik, and in this video I'm going to show you why no-code tools such as Make.com, VoiceFlow, Bolt.new are actually way better if you understand and learn the basics of coding, such as HTML, such as CSS, what is an API key, and all of these really basics. And chill, it's not going to take you years to master it. It's just going to take you few hours, and if you actually apply what I say in this video within the first week, you will probably skyrocket your building, your product, your anything by 200%, literally, because I have seen it and I myself have been able to create apps, to create chatbots, to create automations way better when I understood these few basics. So we're going to go over them and let's get straight into it. And of course, before we start, you can leave a like, comment if you like this video, and subscribe to my channel. It would help me a lot. And for the comments, you can comment what you would like to improve on my videos or what I should do next. So yeah, see you there. Okay, so I think we have done enough talking, and now let's actually move into the basics. Let's start with code. What is code, right? It's a string of words that command whatever you're building to act how you want it to act, let's say. So first, no-code tools are actually awesome, and you already know this because you're probably using them. If not, and you want to understand this niche way better, you can watch some of my previous videos where I showed you how to build apps, how to build these beautiful websites, chatbots, and anything. So no-code tools are awesome. But if you understand the basics of code, and I'm not talking about writing all of these hundreds of thousands of words with code, I'm just talking about understanding what each file is and what each file actually represents and what is it for, what is an API call, what is an API key, how to get it. If you understand all of this stuff, then you will be a pro at AI automation. Because what is the problem with this niche is everybody just jumps in, they build a few chatbots, and they think they should deserve thousands of dollars. No, it doesn't work like this. But if you're a pro, if you actually know what you're doing, and you're not just mindlessly dragging Make.com modules or just building in VoiceFlow most simple chatbots, you're not gonna get money from that. I have a live proof here, which I have built, and this is just the front end, and now we are getting into it. Front end means the design. It doesn't have functions, it doesn't have payment processors or anything, it's just the visuals. So this is the first thing, front end. Then you got the back end. This applies for apps or websites. Backend is all that you don't see. It's like the code that runs the apps or websites. So all the payment processors, all the functions you have inside your app, or for example, let's compare it to video game, right? Front end is what you see, and back end is how you manipulate with the whatever game you're playing, the characters and the blocks, how they behave and all that. So that's the back end. But this is just the front end, but this is what I have been able to do with just really, really tiny knowledge of code. And I have been able to build a beautiful website like this that will then be my service. And I will keep this secret for now. You don't know how it's called, you don't know anything, but this is the first version of my own app that will be launching in a pretty soon. Let's keep it like that. Okay, so let's start with HTML. So HTML is like the skeleton of the website, for example. It tells the website what is on the site, so all of the text, the headers, how big the text should be, what the content of the text is, as you can see here, home, about us, pricing. So you can rewrite this if you see the text in white and you're in Visual Code, Visual Code Studio. You can just rewrite this and it will change on the website itself. What images are there and the spacing and all of that stuff is here in HTML. So HTML is our skeleton. That's the base. You always start with HTML. So then we have the CSS code, which is basically how you color the structure, how you color the skeleton, how the skeleton looks. So all of the colors here, all of the bending on the buttons, where are they actually? So if you want to make this a circle, you go to CSS. If you want to make these corners sharp again, you go to CSS, change the colors, all of that. And the placing of these, or the placement of each thing, is in CSS. So this is it. You can see all of the colors here, the pixels. This is what CSS is about. Pretty simple. And now we're moving to JavaScript, which basically makes the app or the website do what it's supposed to do. So all of the these animations, all of this clicking, this is JavaScript, right? you cannot use or you cannot click on this without having JavaScript. This was just a quick overview of what the top 3 main coding languages do or coding types do. And now let's look at the structure, because you can see I have not only files, which file is these are individual files, you can see, and how you make it into an HTML file or into script.js file, or sorry, into JavaScript file, is by naming it .css or .javascript or .html. So we do it, and this is how Visual Code Studio knows what you're actually, or the language you're typing in. If I would name this styles.html, it would not work. It would only show errors. So it's just a quick tip. And I'm probably going to make a video on Visual Code Studio and on how to navigate it with, of course, using AI, because I'm not a coder and I have no degree in coding yet. So I'm going to keep this really simple and easy for you to understand, because you don't need to go into depths of what coding actually is and all that stuff. But you got some structure to make it easier, because in some projects you have, let's say, 100 of each files and you need a good structure. I will show this, or maybe you saw this in the Xcode, which is the same as the Visual Code Studio but for iOS. And then you got Android Code Studio. As I said, we will go over all of this in future videos. But you probably saw that I had many more files and folders. That's just for organization purposes and to make it clean and easier to navigate through. So let's move from Visual Code Studio to API keys. Okay, so you use API calls or API keys literally everywhere. In Make, in VoiceFlow, your chatbots need it, your automations needs it, your websites, your apps, all of these systems needs API keys. And API key is basically like a password or a key that allows you or your system, your automation, whatever, to talk with other apps or other systems. So this is really simply what API key is. So let's say you want to create or you want to drag some data from make.com scenario into VAPI, into your AI agent or AI voice bot, right? The API call with the API key allows you to do that. So just simply, this is what API key is, and you have them everywhere. You have them in OpenAI, you have them everywhere, as I said. So this is simply what API keys are. So this is why coding plus AI works the best, and let me show you exactly why. You have Bolt right here, right? Bolt.new, you already know this. You can only type a prompt here and it will create you a beautiful website. But what if you want to create something on your own, or you want to actually understand it, or you want to move the file somewhere or get it to your clients or something? You go here to this code and boom, now you're lost because you don't know anything about code. But after this video, you already see CSS. Oh, okay, so this is probably the visuals, right? Oh, here somewhere is going to be JavaScript. You probably already know what JSON is. You got another JavaScript. So you already know that if you want some functions, you go to JavaScript, and then you can just, navigate it through the names. A way bigger structure, as you can see here. This is way bigger structure, but you already know this is just folders, and inside the folder is the files, and you already say, okay, so this is the context. So let me click on context, team context, and you got some TSX file, which I don't know. But let's say I want to understand this structure. How do I do this? You use AI. This is why I told you. You go to Claude AI and you just open up a new chat. Boom. You just screenshot this and you just say simply, help me. And I'm just going to send it to Claude, and Claude is just going to tell me what this structure is, what does it does, all that stuff. So root configuration files, both config, blah, 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 public directory sources. And now you can see, I'm not going to go over this. It's a really long structure. Claude actually is here to help us always, and I can show you here. It really helps because the app I made, this one, as I already showed you, I made it with Bolt. Oh, sorry, not with Bolt, with Claude. Normal people would probably buy Bolt.new, but that's like 150 a month. With Claude, you can use it for many other things, and it's only $20, so pretty crazy. So this is all of the chats I made. It gives you the HTML, the CSS, and the JavaScript, and then you just paste it into Visual Code Studio here, and you open it up on your browser, and boom, you got a functional, not yet, but functional website. So literally with just talking with Claude, I have been able to understand all of this code and actually build it and make it functional. Super simple. I'm going to make an in-depth tutorial on Claude AI and coding with that. You can here see I already, or not already, I even made a simple image and I told it to match the code with my script on the image. And I just simply wanted to move this card more to the center and fix these buttons. So I don't have this button here and I have it on this side. And then I made a couple of other changes. There were like in total like 30 versions. So a lot of prompts, but I have been able to make it. So there you have it. This is why learning to code just a little bit takes you to a whole nother level. Without code, I would not be able to create my own apps, my own websites without spending so much money on it. And I probably would not be so smart about all of that. And I would be just stuck endlessly and endlessly and endlessly. Even in make.com, you know the feeling when you just cannot figure out what is wrong with the code. Because in make.com, there is like the HTML uh, module, right? And many times you need to write code. In what you do, you just go to ChatGPT, you say, "Hey, write me this, write me that." So this makes it a lot simpler, a lot easier for you. And yeah, overall, I hope this really helped you. And leave a like, leave a comment on this video, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.